officials are Ruben Ramos, Mark Cook, and Darren Drake. And it is up into the air, and the tip is won by the Eagles. They'll move left to right in front of us on the radio as Davis's three-pointer misses off the front iron, rebounded by Bediako. And here come the Broncos right to left in front of us, wearing gray uniforms with Broncos in red across the chest and the red numbers trimmed in white. Eastern Washington on the road wearing their white uniforms trimmed in white and black. Pajinski penetrates, kicks to the left wing corner. Keyshawn Justice now looking to penetrate, pull up 15-footer, side iron, miss, and the rebound comes down to Allegri. Quickly to midcourt, handled over there by Venters. Allegri, right side, into the corner it goes. That's Tyrese Davis. As Eastern Washington last year averaged 77 points per game. They like to shoot three-pointers. We have no score here early, and a travel on the left wing as Angelo Allegri moved his feet. And, Henry, these two teams have to be a little bit rusty, right?
Absolutely. Pre-game jitters. You work so hard in the offseason for this moment. All about settling in, working together.
Brandon Pajimski down low to Parker Brown. Brown turns and squares. Once on the hard court, twice on the hard court. Looking to get a shot up. Leans in, a little jump hook, and he gets it.
Really good patience there by Parker Brown. Puts it in. Broncos on the board.
Yeah, Broncos lead it 2-0. And these two teams have not had a lot of head-to-head matchups over the years. We'll talk to you about that in just a second as Ethan Price being hounded by Bediako. Venters around a screen, fires a three, does not draw iron, and it comes down to the top returning rebounder for the Broncos. In fact, he led the team in rebounds, Keyshawn Justice. Bediako at the free throw line, opening 90 seconds of play. Pajinski, a left-handed floater at the front iron, back iron, no. And Price is going to be whistled for a foul on the rebound. And that's the first foul of this game. It's on the 21-year-old Ethan Price, who averaged 10 points and nearly 5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, really good toughness down there by Bediako. We're going to see a 1-3-1 baseline out-of-bound defense here by Eastern Washington.
Pajimski pump fake, driving to the basket, kicks to the corner. Stewart open for three. That one hits off the side iron. Price shielding Bediako from getting that rebound. And Allegri quickly into the hands right side. This is Deion Stroud. Eastern Washington finished just about middle of the pack last year in the Big Sky Conference as that ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Eagle basketball, finished with an overall record of 18-6, 11-9 in the conference. And in the conference tournament, did end up with a victory as they beat Northern Arizona by 3 and lost to the number 3 seed Northern Colorado by 1 point. It's 2-0 Santa Clara. 2 minutes gone by. Down into the post it goes. This is a mismatch as Stroud working in on Carlos Stewart. Good job by Carlos to defend the bigger guard. The shot is no good. And Pajimski, transition triple. Oh, it's around 3 times and came out to Parker Brown. Pajimski, Keyshawn will try from the right wing. That's a back iron miss. Stroud struggling for the rebound, and the Eagles have it. So both teams up and down the floor, getting some of the nerves out. Neither team shooting well to start, but the Broncos lead by 2.
If you're Coach Sendek, you love those plays, though. Those are good looks for the Broncos. They're going to get in.
Yeah, Stroud, after a missed handoff out near midcourt, the ball rolled to the sideline, and Deion Stroud ran over to pick it up. And he was standing on the sideline. So the turnover gives it to Santa Clara. Broncos 1 for 6 from the floor to start, and Eastern Washington 0 for 3. Good turnout at the Levy Center. Carlos Stewart working against Venters, driving to the rack, misses the shot, rebounded by Jaden Bediako, and his putback is no good. And so here comes Eastern Washington. Stroud back the other way, leaning in all the way to the basket, misses the finger roll. Ball is loose, grabbed by Bediako. Broncos a 3-on-3 back the other way. Stewart to the basket, misses the dunk, and it's taken by the Eagles. And at the other end of the floor, Venters lays it in.
Up and down we go. An exhilarating pace here early on.
That's one of the things I was looking forward to watching with Carlos Stewart is he would always come on and help the Broncos off the bench with that burst of energy, 10, 15 minutes a game. Can he do it for 25, 30 minutes? Floater from Keyshawn, misses off the front iron. Price has the rebound. We're 3.5 minutes into this opening half, and we're even at 2. The Broncos are 0 for their last 8. Price, Allegri, a lefty 3. That one is good. And Angelo Allegri, the senior, started his collegiate career at UNC Greensboro, played 3 seasons there. He even made it to the NCAA tournament. It's 5-2 Eagles. Left side of the floor, Keyshawn throws out to Parker Brown between the legs with the dribble to the left elbow. Finding Key, fires for three. You betcha!
That's his game. Keyshawn Justice stopping behind the screen, knocking it down. Good look there for the Broncos.
Broncos have tied it up. Keyshawn Justice, 205 career threes coming into tonight. That's 206, and we're all square at 5 apiece. First half clock, and we've got a foul, a Bronco foul, that is, on Jaden Bediako. That'll be his first, and the first on Santa Clara, but we've broken the seal on the 2022-2023 campaign. Non-conference action, and the Broncos and Eastern Washington Eagles are all even at 5. We'll be back to the Levy Center after this. It's Santa Clara basketball from Van Wagner. Chance to show your Bronco spirit. University Credit Union exclusively offering a Bronco Rewards credit card with the ability to earn unlimited rewards points. In addition, you can become a University Credit Union member and get a Bronco debit card. Find out more at ucu.org. So square at 5, Henry Caruso, the former Bronco, joining on the broadcast. And you start to feel some of that energy, kind of, you've been practicing maybe against each other the entire time or for the better part of 6 weeks to 2 months, and then you maybe get a couple of closed-door scrimmages in, but this is what it's all about.
It's exactly what it's all about. As a player, you love having that competition. You want to go against new players, new teams, and this is what you've been training all offseason for, so it's a great opportunity here for the Broncos.
Broncos have made some substitutions as they brought on Jacob Holt, and they've also brought on Carlos Marshall Jr., the 6'6 grad student transfer from Tennessee State. Brenton Napper is also on as well, as is Dane Eichstrup, the 6'10 sophomore transfer from Chandler, Arizona for the Eagles. Down into the low block, this is Stroud leaning in off the glass, misses the shot. Brown the rebound for Santa Clara, and Deion Stroud has gotten good looks so far, but just hasn't been able to get him to go down. Napper feeding Holt, Eichstrup defending him, right side of the floor. Holt trying to go baseline. Holt weaving his way into the paint, backing down, pump fake, goes up, off the glass, no, and it's tipped. Brenton Napper, or rather Carlos Marshall Jr. is in the mix, but it goes out, last touched by Santa Clara.
Good energy there for the Broncos. Unlucky bounce. You love to see Holt get in the lane, get to his spot. That's the one he usually puts in.
I'm checking to see who will get credit for the foul, and it's actually, I think it's an Eastern Washington foul, as the Broncos will be inbounding. The scoreboard says Angelo Allegri. Well, we'll see. It might have been Eichstrup. We'll double check for you. Broncos inbounding. Parker Brown finding Keyshawn Justice. Key already has a 3 in this one as we're even at 5. Brenton Napper on the right sideline looking to penetrate. Free throw line in trouble. Floats it back out top to Justice. 6 on the timer. Keyshawn using a screen. Keyshawn needs to get the shot up, but he will not as he lost the handle. The ball squirts out of bounds and it was last touched by Santa Clara. That was just a possession, when the team is playing good defense. Brenton Napper got into trouble. He turned away from the basket as the clock got inside 10, and then you really got to hurry.
Yeah, it's hard to build rhythm like that, but Broncos have looked good early. That was their first turnover, it seems like.
Our first look at Ellis Magnuson, a 6'2 junior guard from Boise. There's a floater for Venters, and it's missed. Justice the rebound. Carlos Marshall Jr. accelerating into the corner intended for Brenton Napper, and it goes off of Brenton's fingertips. He's claiming it was last touched by an Eastern Washington player. Casey Jones is checked in, 6'6 sophomore from the state of Washington. Went to the Wasatch Academy, also known as the last stop for Josip Vrankic before coming to Santa Clara. We're square at 5 apiece. Eichstrup gets to the right elbow. We'll throw it out to Venters. Venters pulls up, fires, and misses again. And it's rebounded by Keyshawn. So now 2 of 9. Driving to the basket, missed shot, and the follow is good for Parker Brown as Brenton Napper, a little bit out of control. And at the other end of the floor, after the made basket, give the Broncos a 7-5 lead. Carlos Marshall Jr. is called for a block.
Eastern Washington, they're pushing it. Makes, misses. They're running right down the Broncos' throat. You got to get back. Got to match up early.
Well, 77 points per game is what we said they averaged last year. Then first-year head coach David Riley. The Broncos under Herb Sendek, 78 points per game. But most of that scoring is gone, Henry. And the Broncos will need to look to try and replace as much of the offense supplied by Jalen Williams and Josip Vrankic and P.J. Pipes as possible. This is Allegri, step back, lefty floater. That one is once around the rim and missed. And Jacob Holt rips it down for Santa Clara as Brenton Napper makes his way into the front court. Quick touch from Keyshawn. Now Jacob Holt hands off to Napper. Napper finding Holt. Holt trying to work his way in against Eichstrup, spinning to the basket, and he misses the shot. Parker Brown has it in his hands. He tries it looking over his shoulder behind him and misses the shot. And with 6:40 gone by in the first half, the two teams have combined to go 5 for 26. Venters is straight on triple. That one is good.
Yeah, Venters, he's got the green light. Eastern Washington, they're going to play 4-round 1 motion. They're really going to make the Broncos guard, defend. It's going to take discipline. Venters was able to knock that one down.
8-7 Eastern Washington. Parker Brown steps into a jump shot, misses it, but the long rebound chased down by Keyshawn Justice. Justice now has the smaller guard Magnuson on him, getting him deep, floating one off the backboard and missing it, but we've got contact, and this will be a foul on Casey Jones of Eastern Washington.
Broncos, they just need to settle down a little bit, getting good looks, getting to their spots. I think it's just a little nerves here, Anthony. It happens, first game of the season, they'll be fine.
Yeah, Santa Clara is not going to start many games 3 for 18, which is what they've started. Some changes. Pajimski is in with Holt. I'm getting a look here. Our first look at the 7-footer from Germany, Christoph Tilly, 7-footer, 225-pounder from Berlin, is in for Santa Clara. Price back on for Eastern Washington with Tyrese Davis as well. Santa Clara, I'm looking to see. It's Brenton Napper and Carlos Marshall Jr. also in. And it comes to the 7-footer. He's double-teamed on the left sideline. Marshall back to Tilly. Tilly, now he's double-teamed. Throws out top. Marshall finding Napper into the corner. One extra pass for Pajimski. Misses the 3, but trying to chase it down is Tilly, and it's saved by Eastern Washington's Price. Driving to the basket. Davis has his shot blocked by Pajimski, but he'll go to the line. As the Santa Clara foul will be on Carlos Marshall Jr., and I think that might be his second, Henry.
I think so too, Anthony. Good opportunity here for the Broncos. Huddle up. Coach Sendek, call a play, get the fellas organized. They need a good look here. We got to break the dry spell.
Broncos out rebounding the Eagles 15-8 to start, but the shooting woes 3 of 19 for SCU. And Tyrese Davis at the line and get a couple of free throws here for the transfer from Jacksonville University. Made 80 starts, scored over 800 points, was an Atlantic Sun Conference all-freshman selection. He averaged 10 points his freshman year. He makes the first one, and we're even at 8. Carlos Marshall. Oh, it should be 9-7. They gave the point to the wrong team. So everybody working out some rust here early.
First game of the year.
Bronco lineup is Napper, well, David Riley was saying to the scores table in the official score, hey, I just want to make sure that the points got to the right side, which is admirable and what you would expect out of your coach. He was an assistant at Eastern Washington under Shante Legans, a grad assistant at Eastern Washington as well before getting the head job last year. Davis makes them both. It's 10-7 Eastern Washington. And some three-quarter court press now as the Broncos break it. And Pajimski will handle things at the point. Handing off on the right side, that's Justice. Now Tilly. Tilly making his way to the left side. Now into the paint, backing it on Price. And he has his shot blocked by the 6'10 Price. And now here comes Casey Jones. He's got those Kurt Rambis black-rimmed glasses on. Where's the number 31? Davis down into the post, feeding Price. Price backing it on Holt. Pump fake, leaning in, up, under, off the glass with the left hand. And Price has his first bucket, and it is 12-7. Pajimski leaning in, kicks out to the corner. Pump fake. This is Napper. Spot shot, three-pointer. That one is missed, and the Broncos' shooting woes continue, and Jacob Holt is called for a foul on the rebound.
Another good look for the Broncos. Keyshawn Justice, great extra pass. Broncos just not able to put it in.
Broncos 3 of 21 from the floor, and it's an Eastern Washington 12-7 lead. Our under 12 media timeout comes at 11:31. We'll take a break and be back in the South Bay after this. It's Santa Clara Bronco basketball from Van Wagner. Just Southern coming to town, and then Santa Clara hits the road. How about this, Henry? Would you be interested in a road trip that has you in Logan, Utah on Monday the 14th, leaving the next day for the Bahamas, then playing DePaul in Nassau on the 18th of November, and then either Oklahoma State or University of Central Florida on Sunday the 20th, and then home for Menlo, and then back out on the road to Las Vegas and Salt Lake City to wrap up the month of November.
I'd say sign me up. Those are the games and the locations you want to be playing as a big-time D1 program.
Santa Clara's Carlos Stewart back in, Jaden Bediako in with Tilly, Justice, and Pajimski. Magnuson holding out top. Where's double Nichols? Over to Stroud. Now Tyrese Davis. Shot clock at 14. Broncos down 12-7. Kick out. Top side Stroud. Gets a look at a three ball. That one's missed off the front iron. Tipped and grabbed by Bediako. Broncos continuing to rebound well. Now let's see if they can get some shots to fall. And we have a foul as Pajimski looked to penetrate and was held by Stroud. Stroud picks up his first. That's the fourth team foul. And so the Broncos will watch as we get our first look at Cedric Coward, the 6'6" sophomore transfer from Willamette University, a Division III school. Broncos inbounding baseline. Stewart finding Pajimski in the corner. His three is missed. The 7-footer Tilley tries to knock it off of Coward, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched by Santa Clara.
Another good look for the Broncos. Pajemski, open shot. I mean, Herb Sendek's team will live with that all the time. Those are great looks.
Yeah, the Broncos shot 49% from the floor last year. Almost 40% from three. And you just know this team is going to shoot better as this game goes on, let alone the season. Magnuson, Coward, around the perimeter, left side to Stroud. Looking to go baseline, but cut off by Pajimski. Bediako battling with Price down low as the ball goes center of the floor. 4 on the timer. Tyrese Davis, his fall away over Keyshawn Justice, partially blocked. And on one bounce, the Broncos quickly have it into the front court. Left side of the floor, Pajimski driving. Right sideline, triple from Marshall. And Carlos Stewart. I knew it was going to get me at some point. Gets the first 3 of his season, and the Broncos are down 12-10.
Great to see that one go in for Stewart.
I'm just going to have to get used to 2 Carloses, and the way that I've been told to tell them apart is Carlos Stewart likes to go by Los, and Carlos Marshall Jr. likes to go by Chef.
We like the Chef.
So you may hear me go to Los and Chef very quickly here, but I'll do my best to try and keep everyone apprised of which Carlos I'm referring to. Magnuson to inbound, looking to throw it out top, but it's stolen. The inbound is stolen, but stolen right back. And now Venters to the basket. Can't lay it in, but the follow by Coward is good. And the Broncos nearly had a steal there, but instead trail 14-10.
Unlucky bounce there for the Broncos. Their defense keeping them in this game, though. They're playing tough.
Parker Brown getting ready to check in. Carlos Stewart on the right sideline. Throws out near midcourt to Keyshawn Justice. 3 ball in the air for Pajimski is missed. And the lefty grimacing as he turns and heads down court. And here come the Eagles inside of 10 minutes to play. Opening half, a 14-10 lead. Baseline drive. Reverse layup is missed. Magnuson never really got it to the rim, and Jaden Bediako grabs onto it. Bediako has 5 of the Broncos, make it 6 of their 18 rebounds. Bediako flips it after the ball nearly went into the backcourt, taken by the Eagles. Venters has it knocked away. Here comes Santa Clara back the other way. The track meet continues, and it's stolen, and Pajimski was standing there and was ready to grab onto it. And David Riley is a very unhappy head coach for the Eagles right now. And the foul will be on Ethan Price, and that's his second. Did you catch any of what happened there, Henry?
I think both these teams, we just got to settle down. It's opening night for sure.
Broncos now 4 for 24. That's 16%. But really 18-13, the edge on the glass. So both Carloses are into the game now. Carlos Marshall Jr. to Keyshawn Justice. Parker Brown. He's got the smaller Coward on him. Jab step, getting in deep. Throws out to Carlos Stewart. 3 ball in the air. Misses off the iron. Taken down by Allegri. And here come the Eagles, leading 14-10 with 8:42 left to go here in the first half. 3 ball by the Eagles is missed, and our first chance and a look at Ty Harper, the 6'3 sophomore transfer from Norcross, Georgia, and Louisiana Lafayette. And the Broncos have committed a foul and an and one for the Eagles.
Holt had the ball, just unfortunate, brought it down, was able to get ripped away, and Eastern Washington converted. 3-point opportunity here for the Eagles.
Eichstrup gets credit for the basket. Was at Division II Cal Poly Pomona, where he was the freshman of the year last year in that conference. And Eichstrup makes the free throw. And the Broncos now trailing 17-10, their largest deficit of the first half. Carlos Marshall Jr. up with the left hand in the paint. And the Chef is cooking. And the Broncos trail 17-12.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Carlos Marshall Jr. making an immediate impact. Love to see it.
Yeah, the 2-time Ohio Valley Conference all-conference pick as Venters has a bucket. 19-12 is our score. Carlos Marshall Jr. working against Harper, and Harper reaching in commits the foul. 19-12 is our score. That's going to take us to the under 8 media timeout. Broncos getting a look at a lot of different bodies out there. Not many have been able to score the basketball as Santa Clara trails by 7 with 7:57 to play. We'll be back to the Levy Center after this. For Eastern Washington and Santa Clara, it's Bronco basketball from Van Wagner.
It's a great day to shop at Lenardi's. Visit one of our 8 Bay Area locations where you'll find the finest meats, the freshest produce, delectable deli and bakery, and fantastic.
(554-4660) or emailing Bronco tickets at scu.edu. And Henry, you were pointing to our courtside stats here. Broncos have not been to the line yet, and that's clearly what you can do to get things going.
Absolutely. 5 for 26 so far. Tough start, but we can get to the line. Justice for 3. Another good look.
Yeah, Justice missed the shot. Ball is loose underneath. Cameron Tongue has checked in for the Broncos. He has a rebound. Throws it out to Keyshawn. Misses the 3. Eichstrup to Harper, and here come the Eagles as Santa Clara gets back on defense with a lineup of Brown, Cameron Tongue, the sophomore. There's a 3 ball from the right side, and that's a 3-pointer for Allegri.
That's what Eastern Washington does. They spread you out, create driving angles, and kick out.
Carlos Marshall Jr. at the other end with a lay-in. So the Broncos race back and get a 2 after giving up a 3. So it's a 22-14 lead for the visitors. Eichstrup to Venters, directing traffic. And we have an illegal screen set down low, and I think it'll be Harper, and that's his second.
Good momentum swing here for the Broncos. Marshall Jr. able to get out in transition, puts it in. Broncos playing tough D on the other end. Let's see if we can string 2 good offensive series together.
When you played and maybe your offense wasn't going where you wanted to, and admittedly, I'm sure that didn't happen very often at all, but did you try and ratchet things up? Hey, okay, let's get my defense where it needs to be, and the rest will flow back into place?
Absolutely. Sometimes your defense can lead to the easy offense scores. Marshall Jr. for 3.
Banks it in.
Count it. Just what the doctor ordered. Chef heating up here.
7 points for Carlos Marshall Jr. 22-17 is the score. Inside, a reverse layup is missed. It filters out to Jones. Allegri throws up top to Eichstrup. Now to Venters, using that screen to the right elbow. Keeps the dribble alive. Baseline jumper over Parker Brown is missed. Napper the rebound. Napper a 1-on-2. Napper throws behind to Carlos Marshall. Pump fake in the air. You betcha from 3.
We heard it from Coach Sendek in the pregame. Carlos Marshall Jr. is a bucket getter, and there's some good evidence right there.
10 points, leads all scorers. And while the Broncos are having trouble scoring, Carlos Marshall Jr. is 4 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 2 from 3, and a 30-second timeout has been called by David Riley and the Eagles. Mark Cook has come over to the scorer's table and has asked our video replay assistant to show that last three-pointer, Henry. Maybe they're checking to see if Carlos Marshall Jr.'s foot was on the line.
I think that's exactly it, Anthony. They're going to take another look to see if he was behind the line.
But how about this, Henry? 8-0 run for Santa Clara. I think all 8 points were scored by Carlos Marshall Jr., as Santa Clara has seen their shooting percentage skyrocket to 25%.
It's a game of runs.
And for sure, it looks like it will be a three-point basket given to Santa Clara. David Riley called the timeout and now gets the same group back out onto the floor with Venters, Jones, Eichstrup, Allegri, and Tyrese Davis. Meanwhile, the Broncos with Napper, Pajimski, Carlos Marshall Jr., Parker Brown, and Cameron Tongue. Broncos have trailed by as many as 10 points here in the first half. Casey Jones goes with a power dribble at 6'6" and lays it in.
Yeah, that was an athletic move.
24-20 Eastern Washington. Carlos Marshall Jr. now defended by Tyrese Davis. Into the block it goes. Cameron Tongue wanting to back down Jones. Cam getting to the basket. Floats it up, around, no good. Tipped once, tipped twice, 3 times, and grabbed by Parker Brown. Broncos working hard on the glass. Carlos Marshall Jr. pump fake, fires a 3, hits the side iron, and we have a whistle, and there will be a foul underneath. A holding foul on the Eagles. Steele Venters, and now the Broncos, Henry, with that being the 7th team foul on the Eagles. Santa Clara will make it the 8th team foul, will now be at the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, good momentum swing here for the Broncos. Getting open looks, but most of all, Broncos are playing tough. We're rebounding, we're crashing the offensive glass. I know that's something that Coach Sendak loves.
Pajimski, 4 minutes per game in 16 appearances last year at Illinois. Knocks down the first free throw, but 4-star recruit out of St. John's Northwestern. 21, Wisconsin Mr. Basketball. And how about this? As a high school senior, 35 points per game.
Yeah,
you think he's a scorer?
Not too many guys are filling it up like he did.
Makes both free throws. Broncos down 2, 24-22. Clock rolling at 5:35, and we have a whistle. And this will be a foul on Santa Clara's Brenton Napper away from the ball, and Herb Sendik trying to get the attention of referee Ruben Ramos. Carlos Stewart will check in, and
I think it should be a 1-and-1. I don't know if the referees know it yet. Now they're figuring it out.
So Brenton Napper, who had the redshirt year last year, but participated in practices and really became an integral part of the entire program last year, even though he didn't play any games, is getting an opportunity to play this season in game number 1 as Stroud makes the first free throw. Second free throw is good. And Stroud makes it 26-22, and we're seeing some full court pressure now.
Broncos have done a good job early on breaking the press.
And they do it there. Inside of 5.5 minutes to play first half. Crowd trying to get into it as Carlos Stewart driving right to the basket. He's in trouble. Throws into the corner. Pajimski flips a pass cross-court corner for Cam Tongue, and it's good from 3.
Great driving dish by Pajemski. Cameron Tongue knocking it down. Love to see the sophomore stepping up.
26-25, and I can already tell. I haven't seen Cameron a lot, but his body looks very different this year than last year at this time when he came in as a freshman. Broncos are now 5 of 17 from 3. Stroud will launch a triple from the left wing. That's missed, and a battle for it, and a foul on Santa Clara's, or is it? No, it's a foul on Eastern Washington. It's either Allegri or Magnuson.
I think that's Cameron Tongue again, getting the Broncos an extra possession, and he's going to go to the line with a chance for a 1-and-1 here.
That's the second foul on Angelo Allegri. And so he'll go to the bench. Davis comes out. So a lineup of Eichstrup, Allegri, Stroud, Magnuson, and Jones. And Cameron Tongue, who made 19 appearances last year, the Medfield, Massachusetts product. 6'7", 220-pound sophomore. And a rebounding machine. Misses the free throw, and Keyshawn Justice nearly went over the back of Casey Jones, but pulled his hands back at the last minute. Free ball in the air for Allegre. That one is missed. Tipped into the backcourt by Carlos Stewart, where it's grabbed by Magnuson. Fresh 30-second shot clock. Down low, and Dane Eichstrup catches the pass and lays it in. 28-25 is our score, Eastern Washington.
Broncos are really trying to play tough, fronting the post, and it's a few times we've seen now Eastern getting a few easy layups off the Broncos front in that post entry.
Broncos turn it over. Ball intended for Pajimski. Stroud takes it, 3 dribbles, and dunks it with the right hand. And a Bronco turnover turns into points. And the net is caught up on the rim. So Coward will check in for Allegre. And those dribble handoffs, if they're not crisp out there near half court, they could turn into a quick 2 the other way.
Yeah, Eastern's aggressive on defense. They're going to put pressure on you. Got to play tough with the basketball.
There's this pressure in the backcourt. It's a zone. And now Broncos fire it right into the teeth of the defense. Stewart turns it over. Coward getting in deep, and he's hammered on the arm. And is it Keyshawn Justice that got him? Indeed. Keyshawn Justice picks up his first foul, and the Eagles are going to go to the line here, and we have a timeout. So the Broncos, after trailing by as many as 10 in the first half, got to within 1, and now trail by 5 with the Eastern Washington Eagles ready to step to the line after this timeout. It's 30-25. Eastern Washington will have more first half action from the Mission campus after this. It's Bronco basketball from Van Wagner. Voted number 1, not Henry, but Pizza Chicago of Santa Clara, a proud partner of Santa Clara Athletics. They've been serving the community since 1991. Visit them today at 1576 Halford Avenue or call 408-CHICAGO to order today. After the timeout, 2 shots coming for Cedric Coward. His head coach, David Riley, calls him the Swiss Army knife. He has a good handle. He can get up and block shots. He can score the basketball. He misses the free throw, but I mean, those types of players are invaluable for a head coach.
Absolutely, especially in today's day and age with the basketball, how it's becoming a positionless game. Got to have guys like Coward.
Coward makes the second. Now it's 6 of 7 from the line. Broncos nearly turn it over. A little bit tentative in the backcourt to break the press. Carlos Stewart, right sideline, Parker Brown. Into the block it goes. It's Cameron Tongue, squared, guarded by Eichstrup. Drive from Carlos Marshall Jr. Hitting Cameron Tongue in the corner for 3. And Tongue has his second triple of the first half.
Great to see Cameron Tongue stepping up here. He's really encompassing that role of a 3-and-D guy for the Broncos.
Coward down low to Eichstrup. 6'10" against the 6'10" Parker Brown. And the underhand scoops a shot, misses it as he was falling down. Good D by Parker Brown. Pajimski the rebound for SCU. The Broncos can tie it with a 3 here as Pajimski Bouncing down into the block. Cameron Tongue wanting to go to work. Leaning in. He used his arm to hook the defender. And that's all kinds of not legal. Cameron Tongue whistled for the foul. And David Riley, if referee Mark Cook was not going to make that call, the head coach for Eastern Washington very well may have.
100%. He was ready to go.
Coward comes out. Magnuson in. Broncos led by 10 points from Carlos Marshall Jr. He had 8 consecutive points to bring the Broncos back from being down double digits. 7 points for Venters to lead the way. Santa Clara still struggling overall. 28% from the floor. Down 3 here with an even 3 minutes to play. Magnuson in trouble. Kicks out to Venters. A straight on 3. Back iron miss. Carlos Marshall Jr. beats Stroud to the basketball on the rebound. And here come the Broncos the other way. Spin dribble. No look pass in the paint. And had he pulled that one off, you can call him whatever you want. Chef. Carlos Marshall Jr., but it was last touched by Eastern Washington, and it's Bronco basketball as Brown leaves for Bediako.
Here's that 1-3-1 baseline out of bounds defense from Eastern Washington.
Carlos Stewart will trigger the inbound. Stroud jumping up and down, and it comes to Cameron Tongue, and he's quickly fouled.
That's good news for the Broncos. That's going to put Tongue back to the line.
Well, and the problem now for David Riley is Steele Venters has picked up his second foul. With 2:45 to play, if you're David Riley and he's your leading scorer, Venters, do you sit him for the final 2:45, or if it's just the first game of the season, we're going to let this kid play the rest of the half?
It's a tough call. Always go back and forth, but I think he's going to have to put him out.
First free throw is good for Cameron Tongue. By the way, Henry, Cameron Tongue's single game best last year was 7 points. He's got 7 points here in the first half in limited minutes.
Yeah, to your point, Anthony, he stepped up. He looks like a whole different player from last season.
Parker Brown wants to check in. Bediako will come out. So the Broncos are down 31-29. Bediako leads. How about Jaden? 7 minutes, 6 rebounds for Santa Clara.
He's battling down there.
Right-handed foul shooter. Cameron Tongue's second free throw is good. It's a good stroke. He has 8 points. Broncos down 31-30. Clock rolling, 2:40 to play. First half, Stroud motioning for Magnuson to come toward him. They go down into the block to Jones. Jones wants to bounce pass to a cutting Allegri. Has the shot blocked off the glass by Bediako. And now into the front court, it's Pajemski. And he throws it through the hoop from underneath. Not Bediako. It was Carlos Marshall Jr. who blocked that shot. And here comes Allegri the other way to the basket. And he lays it in, and he's fouled. And Cameron Tongue is going to pick up that foul.
Up and down we go, AP. No breaks in this one. Great block by Marshall Jr. on the recovery. And, man, unfortunate for the Broncos. Eastern Washington able to convert.
Well, he was so high in the air, I thought it had to be somebody 6'9 or 6'10, but clearly Carlos Marshall Jr. can jump, as at 6'6", 205, he got, I want to say, his head almost to the rim. And now the officials are calling a timeout here, and they're going to review, I think, who committed the foul. Well, it's been an exciting opening 18 minutes or so. We invite you to stick around for the halftime show presented by University Credit Union, where we'll have an interview with Keyshawn Justice back for his 5th year. He talks about the decision to return. He talks about an all-new, a very new squad with Jalen Williams and Joseph Brankic and P.J. Pipes moving on to the professional level. He talks about the trip to Europe over the summer that the team took and got a chance to go to Spain and France. And that's coming up on the University Credit Union halftime show. But if you want to come out and watch the Broncos play, we invite you to do so. Georgia Southern in town on Thursday. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock on AM 1220 KDOW, TuneIn Radio, and the WCC network for the video with the radio simulcast. Henry will be back. We haven't asked you. Are you okay to come back to that one?
I'm back.
Okay, he's back. He had to think about it, but that's all right. Santa Clara, 27% from the floor. 10 points for Carlos Marshall Jr., 8 for Cameron Tongue. Meanwhile, 8 points for Angelo Allegri, 7 for Steele Venters.
To your point, AP, just want to get a quick word in about Keyshawn Justice. I mean, what a great ambassador for this Bronco program. A guy who's been here for 5 years, done it the right way, staying committed through everything. I'm sure had a lot of opportunities to go elsewhere, but he stayed with the Broncos, and I think it's just a great testament to his character, his work ethic, and his dedication to this program.
100% agree, and I'll only add to that he loves to talk about what shows he's streaming on Netflix. Big fan of Ozark, and I gave him a couple of other tips of some shows to watch coming up, of course, assuming that there's time to watch TV during the season. I doubt there's much of that at all.
I don't think either. Between games and studies, it's action-packed.
Allegri's first free throw is good, and he only needed one because it was a three-point play opportunity, and he does convert it. 34-30 is our score. Right wing corner, Cameron Tongue out to Carlos Stewart. Stewart penetrating, driving to the basket, up under, misses the shot, and it's tipped by Parker Brown, and it is Eastern Washington basketball.
Aggressive drive there by Los. 50-50 call, whether or not. Unfortunately, Broncos didn't get it that time.
Yeah, and Santa Clara has attempted 5 free throws. Eastern Washington 8. Both teams are shooting the free throws well tonight. Magnuson into Allegri, right of the lane. He used his right arm to hook the defender, and that's an offensive foul. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Allegri's second.
That's a big call. Both Venters, now Allegri, both with 2 fouls right here before the break. That could bode well for the Broncos.
There's now 4 Eagles with 2 fouls. Harper, Price, Venters, and Allegri. Meanwhile, Carlos Marshall Jr. comes out. Cam Tongue throwing into the backcourt. Carlos Stewart, Brandon Pajimski. 1:44 left first half. Broncos trailing by 4, 34-30. Carlos Stewart throwing cross court. 30 feet to Keyshawn Justice. Traffic jam on that far sideline. Keyshawn pump fake from 3. Throws out to Pajimski. His 3-ball is good. And Brandon Pajimski has the Broncos within a point.
Really good offense there by the Broncos. Justice, extra pass to Pajemski. Great to see him getting going here.
So the Broncos trailing by a point. Magnuson, right side of the floor, down low to Jones. Jones has Brown on him. Reaching in, Cam Tongue trying to tip it away. And the ball is taken by Casey Jones. Jones misses his shot. Broncos have the rebound. Stewart driving to the basket. Finger roll for 2, and the Broncos take the lead.
That's Carlos Stewart's game. Getting in transition up and down and puts it in for the Broncos. Take the lead. First time tonight.
35-34 SCU. Inside of a minute to play. First half action for the Mission campus. And this is tipped. This is Pajimski. Length of the floor. 2-hand rip.
Send it in, Pajemski. Broncos roaring here.
37-34 as Pajimski follows the triple with a steal and a 2-handed flush at the other end, right in front of the Bronco cheering section. 7 straight points for Santa Clara. And now only a second separate the shot clock and the remaining seconds of the first half. There's a pass and a steal. And Pajimski gets a timeout.
Great hustle play by Pajemski. Heads up call by Herb Sendek. I know Keyshawn Justice thought he had a lane, but smart call. Hold for the last shot. Let's see if the Broncos can convert here going into half.
How about that? So Brandon Pajimski has 3 times at least tonight gone to the floor for a loose ball or a steal. And he reminds me a little bit of another former Bronco, Henry Caruso, who was not shy of contact, and it doesn't look like Brandon Pajimski is either. So 5 points for Carlos Stewart. Pajimski has 7.
Those are the type of plays that can ignite a bench, though. You saw everyone on Santa Clara rise up onto the floor after that great hustle play by Pajemski. Love to see it here.
And so after that timeout, that's the first timeout that Herb Sendek has called in the half. 19 seconds remaining in the opening 20 minutes. And Santa Clara will inbound in the backcourt. Cameron Tongue, Parker Brown, Keyshawn Justice, Brandon Pajimski, and Carlos Stewart. Cameron Tongue has the ball from Mark Cook. And you got to get it in here. He throws it to Pajimski into the front court. Pajimski spinning to the basket. Clutch shot. Scores it. And he's fouled. Underhanded flip shot. And Pajimski's going to go to the line.
Great aggressive move by Pajimski. Gets the defender on his hip, spins it off, and puts it in. Broncos extending their run up to 9-0 with a chance to get to 10-0 here at the line for Pajimski.
39-34 is our score. And Pajimski has a chance to get to double figures here. The foul was on Stroud. And for Stroud, that is his second. Kozi Akametu, a freshman, a true freshman, 6'5", 210-pounder from Carson, California, is out on the floor now for Herb Sendick, as Pajimski, with 15.8 seconds remaining here in the first half, will try and make this 10 straight for the Broncos. The lefty eyeing the rim, drops it in. Pajimski with 10, 40-34 SCU. And now Eastern Washington will play. I thought the Broncos were going to play for the final shot, but instead they get a three-point play out of it. This is Davis out at 30 feet. Down the lane to the basket. Tries to flip it up, misses it. Cameron Tongue to Carlos Stewart. Half court with 1 second. Tried to bank it in, but the long shot is no good. But what a finish for Santa Clara, scoring the final 10 points of the first half. Pajimski with 10. 10 for Carlos Marshall Jr., 8 for Cameron Tongue, as the Broncos started so slowly from 3, but ended up 7 of 19 and out-rebound. Arrow favoring Eastern Washington, but they may go to the, well, we got a flop tee, and it was Stroud for Eastern Washington. He was trying to defend against Jaden Bediako in the low post, and when the contact came from Bediako, Stroud threw his shoulders and his head back and hit the deck, and I believe they're looking at a flop technical foul or a warning. It's not Stroud, it's Tyrese Davis. Did you catch any of that?
They called the flop tee, Justice to the line, he's shooting.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. I was checking to see exactly what the call was, and it was a flop technical. Sometimes you get a warning, but a warning was not given, and so Keyshawn Justice stepped to the line. Those of you watching tonight just got a chance to see, and made the free throw. So it goes back over to Eastern Washington, and the Broncos now lead by 7, 41-34. This is Venters, Tyrese Davis. Davis on the switch, defended by Bediako. Allegri to Venters. Carlos Stewart getting right up close to his jersey. Now with 8 on the timer. Opening minute of play, second half. This is Allegri into the corner. Allegri pump fake down low to Stroud. Back to Allegri. Fires the three. Off balance. Misses it. And Pajimski the rebound for SCU. One pass to Carlos Stewart. Carlos Stewart accelerating, and a reach and a grab. And it might be... It is. Steele Venters has picked up his third foul.
That's a big deal. Eastern's best player getting 3 fouls here early into the second half.
The flop, Jeff Mitchell, former public address announcer. You remember Jeff?
Absolutely.
Jeff watching tonight. New rule this year. Thanks, Jeff. In Mississippi.
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. Class B technical. New rule this year. Thanks, Jeff. 43-34 after both free throws go down for Carlos Stewart. And the Broncos have the lead up to 9. And what do we have here? We have an offensive foul as Pajimski took a shot to the face, and a technical foul on David Riley. And the Eastern Washington Eagles, as Mark Cook heard the magic word, and the technical has been called. Offensive foul Venters just picked up his fourth. And head coach Eastern Washington and David Riley looking over at Mark Cook and saying, hey, Mark, what did I say? As Pajemski steps to the line. And makes the first. Well, he has to be frustrated, and David Riley now saying something to Ruben Ramos as Pajemski eyeing it, and his second free throw misses off the back iron. Pajemski has 11. Broncos lead by 10, their largest lead at 44-34. And David Riley just trying to get a sense for what he did, and so he doesn't do it again.
Absolutely. Fourth foul. Venters, you have to go to the bench for a little while.
Casey Jones is now in for the Eagles as Justice on the weave. The handoff to Carlos Stewart, hopping into the paint. Misses the shot, but hammered on the arm by Price. And Carlos Stewart is going to go to the line, and it's just what you talked about in the first half. Broncos were not scoring the basketball from distance or mid-range, but yet they weren't even getting to the line, and that's what they're doing here in the second half.
Really good aggressive drive by Carlos Stewart. That's his game, getting downhill, putting pressure on the defense. Good jump stop, shot fake, and a chance to knock down two.
Carlos Stewart had a couple of starts last year when P.J. Pipes wasn't available, and in one game had 16 points at San Jose State. Carlos Stewart makes the first. He has 8 points, 3 in the second half, as Price leaves with 3 fouls. Dane Eichstrup is in. Bronco lead is 11. You remember at one point it was 34-33 Eastern Washington. Broncos have scored 13 straight, and Carlos Stewart now has 9 as he makes the ball. Broncos up 46-34, early going. Pass intended for Allegri, stolen by Pajemski. Ahead to Keyshawn Justice, who missed the shot. Broncos can't secure the rebound. Allegri has it ripped out of his hands by Stewart. Throws it to Pajemski, who lays it in.
Yeah, what a play by Carlos Stewart. The athleticism on full display, dishing it off to his counterpart. Pajemski puts it in. Broncos now up by 14.
48-34. And this Bronco run is now 15 consecutive points. Allegri. Down low, Eichstrup getting to the basket. Underhanded scoop, and he shores it. And he's fouled by Bediako, and he's going to go to the line. Nice move as Eichstrup, with his back to the basket, turned and faced Bediako, ripped it through from his right hand over toward his left side, and then went right to the basket. He has 7 points and a chance to convert a three-point play.
Yeah, it's an impressive move for a big fella of that caliber. Putting the ball on the deck, converting at the rim, not an easy play.
Eichstrup staring into the Bronco Jacks, the cheering section, doing jumping jacks. The shot is missed, and Jacob Holt had it, but he lost it. Stroud reached in, tied him up, and the possession arrow points in the direction of Santa Clara.
Broncos need to be ready for the press here. Eastern, after every free throw, after every dead ball, they're showing that full court pressure.
Broncos cross midcourt. Parker Brown, baseline. Out to Carlos Stewart. Jump pass, cross court into the corner. Keyshawn working against Jones. Nice shimmy, stutter step to the basket. He's fouled. And he got Casey Jones off balance and will go to the line. A nifty move from the fifth-year senior.
Yeah, Keyshawn Justice right there, putting the full skill set on display. Shot fake, jab, crossover, hesitation, get to his spot, and ultimately 2 guys clobbered him. He's going to have a chance to add to his tally for the night.
His 112th game in a Bronco uniform. Keyshawn Justice converts the first. He has 5 points. As a freshman, 56 threes, second on the team. As a sophomore, averaged 9 points, had 50 threes. As a junior, ratcheted it up to 11 points. And last year, 13.
Just shows you commitment to the program. He gets better year in, year out.
Justice with 6. Broncos, how about this? 13 of 15 from the line now, and they lead by 14 points. Magnuson, one bounce, top side Allegri. Pump fake from 3. Now picks up the dribble. Down low to Eichstrup. Backing in on Holt. He floats one up and scores it, does Eichstrup, but a foul on Holt, who immediately turns and looks over at Herb Sendick with both hands in the air as if to say, I didn't do anything.
I think that's something that Jacob Holt's going to have to learn throughout his development. You can see Coach Jason Ludwig stand up and just urging him to stay down. Holt just put his both hands up, don't jump up, don't react to the shot fake. It's hard to do, but I think as he grows older, he's going to learn how to do that even better.
Holt picks up his 3rd foul. Eichstrup is exhibiting some nice moves in the post right now. He averaged 11 points and 5 rebounds at Cal Poly Pomona D3 last year. Misses the free throw. And here comes Santa Clara back the other way. Justice in the left wing corner. Jones picking him up, cutting him off baseline. Keyshawn trying to back him down. Keyshawn looking, throwing out top. Parker Brown catch and shoot 3. Well off. In fact, an air ball, but caught by Stewart on the baseline. Misses the reverse layup underneath the basket. And here comes Eastern Washington. 3 minutes and 25 seconds into this second half. Eichstrup is feeling it, taking Brown underneath. Shot blocked by Parker Brown, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Eastern Washington. He had success against Jacob Holt, but Parker Brown, who had 42 blocks to lead the Broncos last year, was not having any of it.
Parker Brown with a no, get it out of here. Love to see it from Brown.
50-38, Pajimski, Carlos Marshall Jr., Carlos Stewart coming out. No, Carlos Marshall Jr. thought he was coming out and then was sent back in. So the Bronco lineup is Brenton Napper, Cameron Tongue, who had a strong first half, Keyshawn Justice, Parker Brown, and Carlos Marshall Jr. Bronco possession. Nearly had it ripped away, did Carlos Marshall Jr. by Stroud. One-handed push pass right sideline in front of the Bronco bench to Napper. Shot clock at 10. Justice working against the bigger Eichstrup. And Keyshawn getting in deep, throwing out to Carlos Marshall Jr. 4 on the timer. Carlos Marshall Jr. stepping through into the corner. Napper fires a 3. It is an air ball and a shot clock violation. Actually, I'm not sure he got the shot off in time, but either way, it's a violation.
Tough series there for the Broncos. Never had anything going. Timeout on the floor. Broncos still leading by 12.
50-38 Santa Clara. 13 points for Brandon Pajimski in his Bronco debut. And we'll be back after this break. Second half action from the Levy Center. After this, it's Bronco basketball at Van Wagner. Halftime with 15 consecutive points. And Santa Clara leads 50-38 over Eastern Washington. Anthony Passarelli and former Bronco Henry Caruso, as Santa Clara is getting contributions from just about everybody on the floor. They're out rebounding the Eagles 36-23 and have connected on 7 3-pointers in the game. And back to live action now with Magnuson to Jones right in front of the Eastern Washington bench. Allegri connecting with Jones again. They're trying to post up Eichstrup down low. Magnuson nearly traveled with it, throws out top to Stroud. Allegri catches, puts it on the deck, Throws to Jones. Jones going baseline on Cameron Tongue, and he lays it in. A good move by Jones. And he has his second basket of the game. He has 4 points. Free ball from Cameron Tongue. Back iron miss. Long rebound. Jones runs it down. Keeps it in at the sideline on the far side. Magnuson from Allegri. Center of the floor picks up the dribble. Now Allegri looking to go down low. Instead penetrates. Stops at the elbow. Cross court to Jones. Good ball movement by the Eagles trying to find the open player. This is Eichstrip squaring on Brown. Jumper is good. A quick release from Dane Eichstrip, and he's into double figures unofficially with 11 to lead the Eagles, and it's 50-42 Santa Clara.
He's in a good rhythm right now, getting to his spots on offense. Broncos need to play a little tougher down low.
Keyshawn Justice going baseline as his shot blocked by Jones and run down to the baseline. So the Eagles putting a run together. Allegri transition three. That's going to be well off. In fact, it's an air ball, and on one bounce goes out of bounds to Santa Clara. Well, you're not going to see that too often from Allegri, who last year made 77 threes, started every contest, versatile, a winner, and a shooter, according to his head coach David Riley. Eichstrip leaves. Coward is in. And I'm trying to see who else has checked in. Stroud, Magnuson, Jones, Allegri. Bediako in for Santa Clara. Pajimski, Carlos Stewart, Brown, and Justice. Get you caught up on the lineups. Eagles on a 6-0 run. They've cut the deficit to 8 with 14:25 remaining. Pajimski off the handoff from Parker Brown. Bounce pass to Keyshawn, center of the floor. Bounce down low into Brown. Spinning, a little jump hook off the glass and easily over Coward.
Great patience by Parker Brown. Got to his spot, drop step, put it in with the right-hand hook.
6 points for Parker. Bronco lead back to 10. Magnuson, Coward. Ball stays outside the arc, left side of the floor. Now Jones getting in deep. He's in trouble. Forces a shot up, and a foul on Santa Clara. And it'll be on Parker Brown, who picks up his first. And like you said, the Bronco coaching staff, Herb Sendick, Scott Garson, Ryan Madry, Jason Ludwig, always just hands straight up.
And it's hard. As a player, you want to make that big-time block. You want to get on the highlights. It's not easy to stay disciplined all the time, and also you want to make a play for your team. So I understand it, but it's something as the season progresses, the Broncos will continue to get a lot better at.
The 20-year-old Jones, a sophomore, misses the first free throw. This is a team that shot free throws at 75% a year ago. Lost some key players. Ryland Bergerson, 13 points per contest. Second free throw is good. So Jones with 5. And after missing 3 consecutive free throws to start the second half, it's now a 52-43 game as Pajimski goes right down the lane and lays it in with his right hand.
That's how you break the press. Instead of playing on your heels, go attack it, go get an easy layup. Great job there, Pajimski.
54-43, Santa Clara. Allegri, underhand flip to the sideline. That's Stroud. Left-handed dribble, now picks it up. Jones, center of the floor. Underhand flip to Stroud. Crossover dribble, now backing it out. 6 on the timer. He's at the logo. Stroud penetrating down the lane. Kicks to the corner. 3 ball in the air. It's an air ball. And Coward caught it. And the shot clock elapsed. And the turnover will give it to Santa Clara. Pretty good defense there for the Broncos.
Really good defense. Good scramble, not giving up on the play. Love to see that intensity, and I know Coach Sendek and the coaching staff does as well.
Broncos will bring in the 7-footer Christoph Tilley for Parker Brown. Brown, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 23 minutes. And again, the full court pressure. Tilley will trigger in the Bronco backcourt as Jones goes to the bench. Tyrese Davis is in. Eichstrip is back in with Coward, Stroud, and Magnuson. Carlos Stewart, Pajimski, quick touch over to Keyshawn on the left sideline. Now Carlos Stewart, right sideline. Throws back to Pajimski. Pump fake, kick out. Right side, Tilley. Tilley holding, throws out to Pajimski. 10 to shoot. Brandon, there's a three ball. He got it right over Davis. Another three for Brandon Pajimski, and he leads all scorers with 18. Broncos up 14.
Knocks it in. Great to see the debut going well for Pajemski. Wow.
Davis to Eichstrup. He'll fire a three. That one draws side iron. Long. Run down by Tilley. Here comes Carlos Stewart in the corner. Key for three. Around and out. That one spun around the cylinder. Hit the backboard. It came down to Eichstrup. Broncos 8 of 25 from three. Magnuson, Davis. Right-handed push shot. Gets a lot of the rim and goes down. And Tyrese Davis has his second basket of the game. And the Bronco lead is 12 with 12 to play. Stewart down low. And Jaden Bediako took the feed. Missed the shot. Here comes Coward and the Eagles the other way.
Broncos got to settle in here.
Magnuson working the dribble. Davis, far sideline, wanting to back down Pajimski. Brandon staying with him. Davis goes right to the basket and finger rolls it home. Davis goes 6'6", Pajimski 6'5". 57-47, Santa Clara. Carlos Stewart. Quick touch from Keyshawn, far sideline. And Pajimski taking fire down the lane, and he'll get that basket as Coward came over and committed a goaltending violation. Another bucket for Pajimski unofficially with 20, and the Broncos lead at 59-47, and we have a timeout on the floor. The under-12 media timeout is upon us. The Broncos 59, Eastern Washington 47, and we'll be back to the Levy Center after this break with 11:16 remaining second half. It's Bronco basketball from Van Wagner. Back inside the Levy Center, Anthony Passarelli, Henry Caruso, 11:16 to play as these two teams, Eastern Washington and Santa Clara, open the non-conference schedule. And the Broncos trailed by 10 points in the first half, but finished on a 10-0 run to lead at the break and have continued to push here in the second half. And as we're back to live action, Eastern Washington in the front court and a foul on Santa Clara. And that's Keyshawn Justice picking up his third foul, Henry, and not a shooting foul. So it will be Eagle basketball inbound. We have not seen Steele Venters return to the game. He has 4 fouls. He's the returning leading scorer from last year as that ball is kicked out of bounds. And it goes back to Eastern Washington as Tyrese Davis will now inbound from the left side of the basket support. 11:07 left. Broncos will have a Georgia Southern here at the Levy Center on Thursday night. Davis is going to throw it all the way back, and it's tipped by Pajimski, grabbed by Magnuson. This is Allegri. Throws out top. Magnuson is not shooting the basketball, so the Broncos are laying off him. A drive to the basket and a foul on Keyshawn Justice. And quite frankly, I don't see it, but Darren Drake makes the call, and Keyshawn, I think, has just picked up his fourth.
Tough call there against the Broncos and against Keyshawn. I thought he was vertical, established position. The referee saw it otherwise.
Davis, however, an athletic move to the basket. He has 6 points and now a couple of free throws coming. The mistake I make as a broadcaster, I immediately look for the reaction from Herb Sendick and his staff, and almost every time they don't like the call. So maybe I should weigh that with my own eyes.
Absolutely. The passion, the fire. Coach Sendick wants to win. There's no doubt about it.
Davis makes the first, 59-48, can cut the deficit to 10. Second free throw airborne and good. And so Davis has 8. 59-49. And there's some pressure. Pajimski ahead to Brown. Brown back to Brenton Napper, getting some minutes here in the opener. Carlos Stewart fires a three. That one hit the rim and was pulled down by Davis. So Santa Clara coming up short there. Davis keeping the dribble alive. Had a look at the three-point shot. Instead, right in front of the Eagle bench to our left, Allegri. Cross court, center of the floor. Now a lob back door. This is Price. Price goes up and scores it as he had the shorter Pajimski on him. And so it was a simple lob and a lay-in. He has 4, and now the Bronco lead is down to 8.
Yeah, that's the risk that we run by fronting the post. Eastern's gotten a few lobs over the top. Broncos are playing tough down there, but unable to prevent that one from going in.
Napper in the left corner. Down low to Holt. Holt back again on Eichstrup. Holt wanting to get to the basket, but he's called for a travel. Just one too many bumps and not enough dribbles. And the turnover will give it to Eastern Washington. And for Santa Clara, that is their 10th turnover of the game.
I know we still have 10 minutes to go in this one, Anthony, but it feels like this one's a big possession here. Broncos a little bit out of the rhythm. They need to get a stop, cool down Eastern a bit.
Allegri on the smaller Stewart, right of the lane, leaning in, pushing it up with the left hand and scoring it, and a clear mismatch as Allegri now into double figures. He has 11, and the Bronco lead is down to 6, and Herb Sendick is going to get a timeout. Sendick gets the timeout with 9:36 to play in the second half. It is a 30-second timeout. With it being the first called timeout of the second half, it goes to a full, so we will take a break. 59-53. University. Back inside the Levy Center, Anthony Passarelli and Henry Caruso, as what was at one point a Bronco 14-point lead in the second half. It is now down to 6, even though the Broncos have had the benefit of an 18-0 run in this game. Santa Clara leads at 59-53. Bronco basketball with 9:36 to play here in the second half. There's some perspiration or something on the floor. Looks like some tape maybe. And so referee Darren Drake will stop play. And now Carlos Stewart will inbound. Eastern Washington in the man-to-man. Carlos Stewart throwing to Parker Brown outside the arc, top side. Cameron Tung coming toward him, but instead it's into the hands of Pajimski. Defended by Allegri. Puts the ball on the deck, throws to Carlos Stewart. Kick out, left wing corner. That is Parker Brown, 8 on the timer. Carlos Stewart fires a high, arcing three, and it's good.
Big shot there by Carlos Stewart, just what the doctor ordered. Broncos up by 9.
62-53 SCU. And we're closing in on exactly 9 minutes to play second half. Allegri will launch a three. That one is missed. Cameron Tung scrambling to secure the rebound. And the Broncos can push it back above double digits with a basket here. Pajimski with 20 to lead all scorers. Puts it on the deck. Free throw line. Fall away floater is on the rim. No. Price the rebound for the Eagles. Davis, front court left side, picked up by Carlos Stewart. The bigger Davis wanting to take him inside. Bounce pass to the cutting Eichstrup, who misses the reverse underneath. Ball is loose and grabbed by Carlos Stewart. Stewart accelerating, contact, and a blocking foul, and Magnuson knows it. The junior from Boise commits the foul. And 6th team foul on Eastern Washington as we get closer to that bonus. Really for both sides. Free throws will come into play here momentarily as the Broncos have committed 5 team fouls. Eastern Washington 6. Jacob Holt will go to the bench. Bediako in for SCU. Broncos looking to inbound all the way out to Parker Brown. Davis defending. Pajimski fires a 3-ball straight on. Misses. Into the sideline, and it's grabbed by Parker Brown. Carlos Stewart grabs it and lays it in.
How about Carlos Stewart, almost like a defensive back on that one, going up there, grabbing at its pinnacle, and converting it.
Carlos Stewart with 14, a drive and a lay-in by Magnuson at the other end as the Broncos were slow to get back. Carlos Stewart almost out of control, misses the layup. Rebounded by Eastern Washington. Now a 2-on-1 the other way. Allegri a transition 3, and that is good.
Tough sequence there for the Broncos. Eastern cuts it back to 6. Coach Sendek slowing it down, calling a play here. Let's see what the boys dial up.
64-58 Santa Clara. Stewart into the corner. Pajimski to the elbow. Right-handed runners an air ball, and it will go out. Last touch by Pajimski. And that'll take us to the under 8 media timeout. It's Santa Clara getting a little bit sloppy here. And this game is nowhere near secure. Santa Clara will be right back after this to the Levy Center. It's Bronco basketball from Van Wagner. Well, it has not been a boring contest by any stretch as Santa Clara leads 64-58. Eastern Washington trailed at one point in the second half 57-43 and have gone on a run here to get to within 6. They're led by 14 from Angelo Allegria, 3 of 6 from three-point land, 11 points for Dane Eichstrup off the bench, the transfer from Cal Poly Pomona. Meanwhile, Brandon Pajemski has 20, Carlos Stewart has 14. But the Broncos, Henry, shooting 32% for the game to 43% for Eastern Washington. The Eagles almost 60% from the floor in the second half.
Broncos have been streaky tonight. When they've been hot, points have come in bunches, but we've had our cold spells as well. Let's see if we can finish strong here in these last 7 minutes.
Eastern Washington with the basketball. Price, the big man at 6'10" from England, puts the ball on the floor. Allegria steps behind the screen, misses the three. Stroud, the weak side board. Shot clock at 20. Stroud driving to the basket, drops off for Jones, who dunks it with 2 hands.
Really athletic play. Broncos weren't able to corral the rebound. Eastern made him pay.
64-60 with 7 minutes to play. Carlos Stewart looking to turn the corner on Allegria. Rises, fires from the free throw line, and drops it in. And Carlos Stewart has matched his single game high. He had 16 points at San Jose State last year. He has 16 points here in this one. Broncos lead 66-60. Jones, who just had the beautiful dunk, down low into Davis. Davis working on the smaller Stewart. Cross-court pass to Allegria, looking to penetrate. Cut off at the free throw line by Bediako. Corner three is missed. Jones goes up over the back of Cameron Tongue. He scores it, and he is fouled.
Broncos played great defense. Bediako and Pajemski had a great switch, just unable to get the rebound. We were a little bit out of position, and we needed to box out Jones. He's been athletic. He's been crashing the glass. He's been putting really a lot of pressure on our defense.
For Cameron Tongue, who picks up the foul, that is his second. Carlos Marshall Jr. is into the game. If Jones can make this free throw, it'll be a one-possession game. And he cannot. Parker Brown had it briefly, stripped out of bounds by Allegria. And it's Bronco basketball. From the line here in the second half, Eastern Washington 3 of 7. Broncos 8 of 9. But nevertheless, it's only a 4-point Bronco lead with tons of time left for Eastern Washington. Carlos Stewart will fire a jump shot. That one is good over Venters, who had just checked in, and Stewart has 18.
Carlos Stewart, elevation, rise and fire, knocks it down.
68-62. Venters, Jones now matched up with Bediako, trying to body the Bronco big man down low, and there's a steal. Stewart stepping in front of the pass intended for Venters, and now Herb Sendick standing at the head of the Bronco bench with his arms in the air, saying slow things down. Now calls the play. Stewart looking to get downhill, rises and fires, misses. Bediako tips it, and Jaden is going to be called for an over-the-back foul.
Free throws coming for Eastern here, AP.
That is the 7th team foul on Santa Clara, and a one-on-one opportunity now coming for Eastern Washington. Broncos getting big-time performances from Pajemski and Stewart, combining to go 13 for 34. And now Jones at the line, 1-and-1 opportunity. He is 1 for 3 from the stripe in the game, and he's staring right into the Broncos student cheering section, who are all doing jumping jacks to try and get into his sight line. The right-hander sends it toward the rim. It's no good.
Bronco Jacks take another victim.
Bronco Jacks grab another. This is Parker Brown spinning into the paint. Goes up, is caught, has his shot caught. And here come the Eagles back the other way. This is Venters, who really has not been as much of a participant at all in this game. He's got 4 fouls. Allegri firing a 3 over Bediako. That one is good. And Allegri now with 17 points. It's 68-65 Santa Clara. Parker Brown, Carlos Stewart going baseline. Carlos Stewart right to the basket, and he rolls it in over the side iron.
Carlos Stewart, aggressive drive, hang time unmatched, and puts it in. Broncos back up by 5.
Matching Pajimski with 20 for Carlos Stewart. 70-65 SCU with 4:35 of the clock rolling. The chant of defense up from the Bronco cheering section. And Carlos Stewart is going to be called for a foul on the body, which, okay.
It's been a common theme this half. Eastern's guards posting up our guards, and we just need to be a little tougher, a little disciplined. It's hard. Most guards don't really practice post defense, so it takes a little bit of extra focus and discipline and concentration here down the stretch.
Davis is 4 for 4 from the line, and he's got a 1-on-1 opportunity, and he makes the first. Davis had just 2 points in the first half, was called for a flop technical, which resulted in a Keyshawn Justice free throw make. Second free throw is good, so he gets them both. He's into double figures unofficially with 10, and the Bronco lead is back to 3 at 70-67. Keyshawn Justice in for Herb Sendick. I get a sneaking suspicion we're going to be going down to the wire in this one, but still 4:22 left to go. Second half. Carlos Stewart out at the logo. Finding Pajimski, pump fake from 3, goes down the lane. A left-handed floater is around the rim, twice and good.
That's a crafty move by Pajimski. High level, tough shot, and down it goes.
22 for Pajimski, 5-point Bronco lead. Exactly 4 minutes to play. Eichstrup pump fake from 3, tries to go baseline on Brown. He loses the dribble, grabs it back, stripped by Brown, taken by Justice. Here comes Pajimski, down the lane, reverse, misses, but the follow is in. Carlos Marshall Jr.
Defense leading the offense. Amazing stop there by Parker Brown. Gets it out, and love to see the chef follow it up.
7-point Bronco lead. A missed jumper rebounded by Price. Eichstrup given all kinds of space to shoot the 3, and David Riley, not liking what he's seeing, calls a timeout. And let's see here. Is it a full or a 30? And it is a full timeout. We'll step away. Broncos lead by 7 with 3:31 to play. Don't go away. It's Bronco basketball from Van Wagner. Welcome back inside the Levy Center. For the first game of the year, that's pretty exciting, even though I'm sure Herb Sendick would like to erase some of the mistakes. You've got to expect to have some of them in the first game of the season. 74-67 Santa Clara. 22 for Pajimski, 20 for Carlos Stewart. 12 points for Carlos Marshall Jr. And despite a tough shooting night from Keyshawn Justice. But it's Eagle basketball, 3.5 to play. Venters slipping the screen, driving to the basket, missing off the iron. Ball's tipped once, twice, up into the air. And Carlos Stewart is going to end up going right into the scorer's table, but not before knocking it off of Stroud. And David Riley, who already has a technical in this game, jumped right up and in the direction of referee Darren Drake. who had to turn around and say, it's going to be okay. Bronco basketball and a lineup of Stewart, Justice, Brown, Pajimski, and Carlos Marshall Jr. And a steal. Tipped away, and this one will go out off Carlos Marshall Jr. Oh, I thought it went off Carlos Marshall Jr. And David Riley now goes into a deep crouch in protest and looking cross-court at Mark Cook, who says, I didn't see it. Broncos may have caught a break there, and now there's some perspiration being mopped up at the other end of the floor. And David Riley says that's 2 big calls in a row to them. That's one of the benefits we have of sitting courtside. Carlos Marshall Jr. and Allegri makes contact as Carlos Marshall Jr. Chef got him in the air and then went around him. And it puts the Broncos in the bonus now as Carlos Marshall Jr. will go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. The Broncos 13 of 15 on the night. And with 3:06 to play and a 7-point lead, a chance to build some separation.
Good play right there for the Broncos. Pajemski's going to come up the ball screen, and what we call it in the basketball world is a Spain action. And Carlos Marshall's going to actually screen Bediako, and he popped out and was able to draw the foul.
Missed the free throw, though. And so Santa Clara still leads by 7 with an even 3 minutes to play as Venters works the dribble to the right side, flips center of the floor, top of the arc to Price. 1-2 bounces down low, and to the cutting Allegri, who scores on a reverse. He has 19, and the Bronco lead is 5.
Good backdoor action there by Eastern.
74-69. Carlos Marshall Jr. to Parker Brown. He's got Price on him. They clear out for him. There's a jump hook and I thought he might go glass, but instead he just dropped it right in from about 5 feet. Nifty move for Parker, who now has 8, and the Bronco lead back to 7.
We've seen that move a few times tonight by Parker. Great to see all the hard work in the offseason pay off. That's something that he's really looking strong.
76-69. Brown, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Davis backing Stewart down, throws out top to Jones. Jones been a catalyst for this offense here in the second half. With 2:18 to play, Davis nearly has it picked, gets to the right elbow, getting in deep on Stewart, puts it up with the right hand and scores it over the smaller Stewart. And Davis into double figures with 12. He has 10 of those in the second half. 2 minutes to play. Broncos by 5. Pajimski with Venters defending outside the arc. There's a screen set by Brown down the lane and contact by Venters, and I think he's done as Pajimski hits the deck and will likely go to the line.
Good call, AP. They got Venters. That's his 5th. Really good to see Pajimski getting downhill. Even as a lefty, he's able to go with his right hand, go up through contact. Now he's going to have a chance to extend this Bronco lead.
And Venters, with a look of disbelief, just never really got off the ground in this one. Had 2 fouls in the first half, 2 quick early in the second. And his night is over with $1:51 to play. Played 20 minutes. And Pajimski buries the first. He has 23 points. They call him Pods, his teammates do.
We got a lot of nicknames on this team.
It's going to be fun. 77-71, second free throw is good. And he has 24. And now the Bronco lead is 7 at 78-71. This is Davis to the right elbow. Tries to turn the corner. Bounces down low to Price, who hits the deck. And a travel or a timeout? Well, the Eagles get the timeout. It could have been a travel. It could have been a steal. But it was the timeout that was the first call made. And a 30-second timeout means we'll keep it here with 101 seconds remaining. Santa Clara in the second half shooting 40%. Eastern Washington 58%. And out-rebounding the Broncos, Henry, in the second half, 17-16. But really, it's been the performance of Pajimski and Carlos Stewart that have helped propel the Broncos and keep them ahead.
100% AP. Big key here for the Broncos down the stretch, defending, contesting shots without fouling. If we can keep Eastern off the foul line, good things will happen.
Santa Clara led at intermission 40-34. They were trailing 34-30 before they went on that 10-0 run to close out the half, and then scored the first 8 points of the second half as Santa Clara led 48-34. But credit David Riley and his Eagles, in particular Angelo Allegri. 19 points for him, and Dane Eichstrup, who have done a good job in this second half, and a foul on Carlos Marshall Jr. Not sure why you would foul there, but clearly just trying to knock the ball away and get a steal, but he made contact, and that A, stops the clock, and B, puts Jones at the line with a 1-and-1 opportunity. Unofficially the third foul on Carlos Jones Jr. Correction. I was looking at Casey Jones. Carlos Marshall Jr. 1-on-1 opportunity. First one toward the rim. And he gets it. Casey Jones, 10 points. That matches his single game high in his career. This is his second season. Played 27 games last year, but averaged only 10 minutes. I think he's going to get a lot more than 10 minutes a game this year.
Yeah, he's earned his minutes tonight, that's for sure.
Misses the second free throw. Jones now 2 of 6. It's a 2-possession game, 78-72 Santa Clara, with 90 seconds remaining. This game far from over. Into the hands of Justice. Jones defending him. Right sideline to Pajimski. Defended over there by Davis. Now it's to Carlos Marshall Jr. 8 on the timer. 1:18 left to go. Carlos Stewart out at the logo. Nifty move to go down the lane. Finding Carlos Marshall Jr. rises from the free throw line. Misses front iron. Rebounded by Allegria. Here comes Price front court. Davis out to Price. Now to Stroud. 1 minute to play. Broncos up by 6. This is Jones. Finding Davis. Crossover dribble down the lane. Forces one off the glass. Misses the shot. And Pajimski has the rebound. Broncos lead by 6 with 44, 43, 42 seconds left. And David Riley screaming for the foul. And it's Tyrese Davis committing the foul. And the Broncos, Henry, get a 1-and-1 opportunity with 41.6 seconds left and a 6-point lead.
Good defense again there by Parker down the stretch. He's really stepped up and been a catalyst on the defensive end for the Broncos here in the second half.
1-and-1 for Pajimski, who is 6 of 7 from the line. He's been out there just about every minute so far, and he rattles the first one home. 25 points in his Bronco debut. Now it's a 3-possession game. Second free throw. Missed back iron. Rebounded by Jones. Stroud crosses midcourt on the far sideline. He'll fire a 3 quickly. Missing it, an air ball. And it'll go out of bounds over to Santa Clara. And Herb Sendick saying, let's get a timeout here with a 7-point lead and 33.1 remaining. And things looking pretty good for the Broncos here, although still have to close it out.
Absolutely. Keys for this possession right now. Are we going to be able to break the press, control the tempo, and most of all, knock down our free throws once we're fouled?
Santa Clara, like Eastern Washington, started this game, looked like they were shaking off a little rust. And I'm getting a note here handed to me from Matt Penland, the sports information director. The last time the Broncos had 2 players score 20 or more points, Jalen Williams and P.J. Pipes, 24 and 21 respectively, March 5th of this year, earlier this year against Portland.
Conference tourney game.
I know, right? Thanks, Matt. We are in midseason form with the statistics, the records, and now the Broncos hoping to get into midseason form to close this one out. They'll be inbounding in the backcourt. Coward is checked in. Parker Brown will trigger. defended closely by Coward, and each Eagle has bodied up a Bronco. Pajimski now moving. Looking, and it comes to Keyshawn Justice. Justice in the backcourt. Casey Jones, they try to double team. It comes quickly to Pajimski, who crosses midcourt, and he is fouled. And the foul will be on the Eagles' Deion Stroud, and that's the 10th team foul. So it'll be 2 shots coming for Pajimski, who already has 25 in the game. 1 bounce, and the lefty sinks to first. Just a pedestrian 26 out of the gate.
Naturally.
80-72 Broncos. Second one is good. Pajimski 27. And the Broncos lead by 9. A full 3-possession game. Allegria wanted the 3. Cross court to Stroud. Catch and shoot from 3 is missed. Pajimski fighting for the rebound amongst 2 white jerseys. And the new Bronco secures it and is fouled.
Yeah, that's a big rebound right there, going up with 2 hands over 2 Eagles. Love to see Pajimski get up there. Another chance for him to get back to the line and add to his scoring tally.
27 for him, 9 of 11 from the line, 9 rebounds in 33 minutes. Just 13 seconds left, and the Broncos are going to get a victory to open the season. First one is good. We talked about his 35 points per game average in high school, and you're starting to see a little why here, or a little bit of that. And he steals a pass in the backcourt. Pajimski to the basket, 2-handed dunk, and that's the cherry on the sundae for Santa Clara. And Brandon Pajimski, and a missed layup at the other end, a steal and a flush for a 30-point night. And Brandon Pajimski and the Broncos win this game as the horn sounds. Final score, Santa Clara 84, Eastern Washington 72. We're going to take a quick break.